Tommy John surgery, UCL repair, return to throw program here. So we got Travis. He actually had UCL repair, primary ligament repair with internal brace, something we see more commonly now. We're starting to see it. I actually had that procedure done myself, so I've been where he's at. We're going to go through throwing progression for you guys to see. We talk about different return to throw options, and with Travis here, we want to get him throwing as naturally as possible and gradually but surely increase his percent exertion, his intensity, his velocity as he increases his mechanical efficiency. So we actually worked together a little bit before the surgery. We weren't totally sure exactly what was going on inside the elbow. We worked together a few times. We kind of said, you know, this isn't normal. Let's get it checked out. Let's get some diagnostic imaging, send him off to one of the orthopedic physicians we work with quite a bit in the area. He took a look, said, hey, we need to repair this ligament. They go in, repair the ligament. He's doing well. He's been throwing for 1 week. No pain, and we're kind of getting him into that stage where he's got to get more natural in his throw, improve his throwing mechanics at the same time he's on this progression. We use a return to throw progression similar to many other progressions you've seen out there. Athletes don't always have access to velocity radar gun that they can kind of use to measure their speed. They don't always have access to a modus sleeve, something we use here all the time. He used it before, and it measures many different metrics that we can then use to improve throwing mechanics, measure fatigue, or more importantly, percent exertion, arm speed. But we've got a kneeling pad here. We're going to do it as if we would be doing it with an athlete who didn't have any of these resources. He's thrown into a net, just like we have to do in the winter here, which is winter here in Michigan. And we're 1 week into throwing. So Travis is going to go on a knee. This is the very first position that we start guys in. One knee, half kneeling. He's out in front. We know the elbow gets damaged when you're out here, so he's out in front. From there, he's going to let his arm be relaxed. The elbow is going to bend. Guys have a problem when they try to push the ball or they wrap the ball out and around. So he's going to let the elbow bend and throw. Nice natural throw. If you watched Travis do this last week, he would stop his arm here, wouldn't let his arm follow through, and he would push the ball. So he would really push and then let it stop without letting it follow through. So go ahead and go again. Good. He's trying to just let the arm be nice and fluid and relaxed. He's not throwing very hard. This is a very, very low stress throw. Kick that out of there. Okay, now he's going to actually do the same thing from standing here, which is one of the positions we use in our phase-specific throwing program. Out in front of the scapular plane. So can you face the camera here? So if he's throwing to you, his arm is not way out here to the side. The ball is inside the elbow, so he's inside 90 degrees, which puts the elbow in a more stable position as opposed to this position here, which is where 95% of UCL injuries and medial elbow injuries happen, in this valgus deformation position where there's the most potential for gapping of the bones as the arm comes around. So he's going to start in a more flexed position, and he's going to go. Take a step back for me so that they can see a little bit more on the camera your follow through. Letting his arm follow through. Real trouble for him last week because it's a natural protective mechanism. He's been throwing for a little longer. It's become more natural. Go ahead and go. One thing you'll notice, he has pretty good hamstring flexibility. He's able to get his chest forward in the throw, something that we want our athletes to do. It's not a throw like this where you're straight up and down. You got to get your chest forward in the throw. So there's our first two positions that we do. Now he's going to make a 3/4 turn away from the target, and he's got his chest rotated away. His feet are shoulder width apart. He's not sitting back like this. He's in a nice athletic position. If he was playing basketball, he'd be in an athletic position just like this. Now he rotates a little bit away from the target. Look where the ball's at, same position. So the ball's inside 90 degrees, it's in here. And if you just get that one component right, your return to throw progression is going to be better. These are something you use while you're throwing at the distances that your physician prescribes. He's going to go from right there. Go. So you can see this is where he's got to develop that natural throwing progression, that natural mechanics. So go ahead and go again. Keep this ball right here to the last second. Go. So we try to improve throwing mechanics as we increase the number of throws they're doing, the intensity of throws, velocity, distance, etc., etc. We try to improve the mechanics, because if you get out to 120, 180 feet, 90 feet for that matter, and you still throw with those same pathological mechanics that led to or contributed to your injury in the beginning or in the first place, you got to expect the same thing. You're applying too much load to damaged or repaired structures which are healing. You can't do that. You got to limit the stress and then gradually apply it as you go. It's very hard to make the ball go too fast from this position initially or this position, and so naturally it forces the athlete to throw at a lower intensity, which is going to protect, or throw at a lower speed, I should say, which could protect the elbow. Now, as he gets into this progression further and further, he can actually throw at a high intensity, 90% exertion, but still have relatively low stress on the elbow and the shoulder for that matter, if it's a shoulder patient. So, get in that position again. Let me watch from over here. Rotate away, nice athletic position. Travis is a very good athlete. Look at the target and step and throw. So, very good. That was his best one. Give me two just like you're playing catch. Two or three like just for the camera like you're playing catch. Nice and relaxed. Now throw it a little bit harder. So if you don't have a radar gun, you don't have option for a Modus, which we're going to throw on Travis, as well as our Jugs radar gun over there, this is what you do. Use percent exertion, especially if you're in the winter. A lot of athletes get to surgery at a time that leads to them initiating their return to throw program in the winter. You got to do it into a net. You got to do what you can. So really, Travis, I want you throwing about this hard. A couple more. Good. So you can see he has some aspects of his throw that we're going to improve over time. This is just the initiation. These are the first three positions of probably 9 to maybe 20 that we'll use over this progression to improve his throwing mechanics. Go ahead and go. While we increase his intensity. So thanks for watching. We're going to post another one here with Travis soon. We're going to show kind of our progression, return to throw, so you guys have something that you can kind of look at and go by, as well as what the physician or maybe even your physical therapist has given you in your return to throw program. So here's just a few of the things we implement in the first week or 2 weeks after we've initiated that return to throw program, when he's actually been cleared by his doc to start throwing. I'm Max Wardell, overheadathletics.com. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. We're going to post more with Travis here in the future, and you're not going to want to miss what we do later in the progression, as that gets even more important than this. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks, Travis.